have one under arrest. Are you looking for others?
The investigation is continuing, and possibly so.
What about the quality of the workmanship on these bills and with their presses?
Very good quality, I would say.
What are the chances that some of this money has already gone into circulation?
Some of it has been in circulation, yes, sir.
Is that how you got onto it to begin with?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Do you think that this is mostly a local operation, or could it be tied in with others?
I can't say what the entire scope of the operation is at this time. This particular printing operation is local.
As residents of the Fort Worth-Dallas area are perhaps particularly aware, the ever-increasing number of welfare recipients in Texas and a provision in the Texas Constitution which sets a maximum of $60 million on the amount of welfare funds to be distributed from state coffers ran head-on recently. At the last general election, the issue was put before the voters of Texas to provide another $20 million of state funds for welfare. The voters said no. So in May of this year, the welfare checks to each family had to be reduced because there simply wasn't enough money to go around. Those smaller payments are beginning to hit bottom now, and something had to be done about it. That has fallen the lot of the individual county welfare units. So today I talked with Mrs. Sarah McKnight of the Tarrant County Welfare Unit. When did you begin to pay these additional bonuses?
July the 1st.
And when is your cutoff date?
We are going through the month of July to see how this program works.
There is an election in August to determine whether the state will be allowed to increase its maximum from $60 to $80 million. What happens now if that is rejected by the voters?
That is right about the election, but we can't tell what would happen. That would still go back to the state.
So, as Mrs. McKnight pointed out, the net effect is that Tarrant County is paying the money which the state isn't paying. Or, put more succinctly, the taxpayer is still paying the bill, just through a different door. She says that her budget probably will not be able to take much more than July and August. She's not over her budget yet, but if she had to maintain these extra payments much longer than then, she probably would have to have more Tarrant County money. So the cutoff date is almost certainly going to be on the 1st of September. Either the legislature will provide more money, or the people will have to learn to live on less. Jerry Taff, Channel 8 News, Fort Worth.
That any time anyone conspires to make and use these devices for the destruction of life or property, we will exert every effort to apprehend them, charge them, and prosecute them to the fullest extent of the law. The law provides that you may receive 5 to 25 years for the possession of such Molotov cocktails, or as we call them, bombs.
The fire department is not going to go into a right area to put out fires where we have to fight our way in or out, you might say. Well, we're not, Chief of the Department, Chief Ben, is not going to jeopardize a fireman's life by doing this. If they're going to set fires down there, we're not going to send firemen in there and be shot at.
After all, the department is to secure the areas, and of course, you know, obviously, we're there to extinguish the fires if and when they secure the area. So we have every reason to believe, with the cooperation we've always received from the police department and other law enforcement agencies, that we'll be properly covered and these things will be cleaned up before we'll be called in to extinguish fires.
Yes, it would, unless you, I believe under the Keaton O'Connell plan that you would waive, say, your injuries up to, say, $10,000. You'd have to prove damages and injuries beyond that amount. So it is a plan that would do away with a trial that is up to a certain amount of damages as to who is at fault in the accident.
This would take it out of the hands of juries and perhaps relieve the courts of some duties, right?
Yes, that is one of the arguments made by the proponents of the Keaton O'Connell plan.
Is it also safe to say that the innocent party would be likely to recover less money from any given accident?
Yes, I think that would naturally follow, of course, that that he would be compensated the same way as we'll say a guilty party up to the maximum amount of the plan, and he would have to waive his claim for, say, personal injuries or pain and suffering.
Well, beyond that point, this given point that we've been discussing, is there still the recourse to court beyond that if you feel necessary?
Yes. In other words, if you receive substantial injuries, as I understand the Keaton O'Connell plan, you could still sue for your damages above, say, the $10,000 mark.
The last time I spoke on Channel 8, we were talking about young people looking for jobs and where they could go to look, and the fact that there is a definite problem for young people in finding a job. And I made a request that all young people come and apply at Youth Power, which is a non-profit organization organized to find young people jobs in the Dallas area. The young people responded very enthusiastically, and at present we have 1,600 people with applications in our file. That means we have 1,600 young people who are looking for jobs here in Dallas. And now I'm calling on the adults of the Dallas community who are also aware of the summer unemployment problem to give these kids some work. They'll be happy to do lawn work or babysitting, house cleaning, restaurant work, any type of work at all, just for an afternoon or for all summer long. And an employer may place an order with us by calling Riverside 2-5777. And there's no charge to the employer or to the person we send out. We work strictly as a referral service. And our interest is in finding as many young people jobs as possible and in keeping these young people busy and helping them earn some money this summer. We help provide the young people with experience by holding training clinics. And this summer we have held 3 clinics. One has been in babysitting, and one in lawn care, and today in restaurant work. And we have broken all records nationally. Youth Power has been operating for 6 years in 30 different cities, and the turnouts at each of these clinics has been larger than any turnout ever held in any city. I think this shows definite concern of the young people, and I certainly hope that the adults will respond as enthusiastically to this problem. The number again is Riverside 2-5777. Thank you.